Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. In the last video, I discussed the risk of having a long-term financial plan dismantled late in life by adult children. And this is done usually with good intentions. What can you do to guard your financial plan against this happening? I have several suggestions for you to consider. The first one is to clarify for yourself if there's value in retaining your financial planner after retirement and into old age. One common misperception that I run across all the time is that financial planning is no longer needed when one retires, and firing your long-term planner will save you money. Now, this could be self-serving, but I watched this played out over decades. In reality, having professional support above and beyond managing investments, the actual financial planning is critical to emotional and financial well-being in one's senior years. I mean, it can be vital as you gradually lose the cognitive ability to negotiate financial decisions and need an advocate. And this is so important. It's also really anxiety reducing for surviving partners and executors and agents of a power of attorney to know that a financial planner has copies of all estate documents, insurance policies, tax returns, titles, and all the other important financial documents. This supports family members during a time of great grief and sadness, and provides continuity with the financial decisions during the period of grief and adjusting to what has become the new normal. The second thing is understand that there's often an inherent conflict of interest when those holding the power of attorney are also beneficiaries to the trust or will. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that that will be abused in every case, but I am saying that there is an inherent conflict of interest. Third, consider appointing only one power of attorney rather than multiple people having your power of attorney. Often people, especially parents, will appoint all their adult children as co-agents. This is typically a really poor decision that may create conflict rather than reduce it. Name someone as your agent who is trustworthy, who understands finances, who understands investments and your financial situation. Appointing a child who lives near you might be helpful as well, but that's probably more important for the health power of attorney. Fourth is to be sure that the person holding your power of attorney knows they hold that power, that they know they hold that power of attorney and agree to the responsibility. So often this is a surprise, and you don't want to surprise a person with this. If you don't have children, or you don't have a child that's knowledgeable about finances, consider appointing a knowledgeable friend or a professional as your power of attorney. You don't have to appoint somebody who's related to you, and sometimes it's best not to. So in that light, consider appointing a competent agent that holds the power of attorney who's not a beneficiary of your estate. And there's trust companies, senior advocates willing to take on this responsibility. Now, they're not inexpensive, but that help is out there. Yet, having someone competent making decisions on your behalf could ultimately be far less expensive than having decisions made by someone who's not competent or at worst is out to benefit themselves. Next, discuss your financial planning and your relationship with your advisor with your children or powers of attorney. Encourage them to adopt a beginner's mind if they're your kids. To ask them to become curious and ask questions and to take time to explore and comprehend the planner's processes and history with you. Help your children understand why the advisor has earned your trust. And as I've said many times before, it's best if you can include that child with the power of attorney in your meetings with that advisor for months, years prior to ever needing them to go into action. Finally, or I think it's number 8, if you appoint one of your children as your power of attorney, bring them into those meetings. So by bringing them into the meetings, it gives them plenty of time to form a relationship with the planner and learn the philosophy and strategies of the financial plan. And finally, understand the consequences of depleting your assets. Outright theft or misuse of your funds by an agent isn't unheard of. Poor decisions by a person holding your power of attorney can also be incredibly disastrous. In addition, sometimes families think it might be a good strategy to distribute the assets to the kids so the parents who need long-term care at the end of their lives will qualify for assistance because they don't own anything anymore. Now, ethical and legal considerations aside, people may not understand that Medicaid or Title XIX, which is Title 19, provides only the most minimal standard of nursing home care. One of the goals of the long-term financial planning process is to provide resources to make your later years as comfortable as possible. Care in choosing a power of attorney is one way to ensure that a goal is carried out. Thanks for listening.